Hey, boys and girls. I hope you're having a great day today. I miss you all very much, but I'm glad you have Mrs. Ritchie, my friend, as your sub. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our book, The Absent Author, because I know we've had a lot of interruptions, so not everybody will remember what happened in the book, but I just want to start out with the beginning. In chapter 1, Dink is talking to his friend Josh, and Dink is excited because his favorite author, Wallace Wallace, is coming to the bookstore in town, the Book Nook, and it's his favorite. He's a mystery writer, and Dink is super excited to meet him because he's going to be doing a book signing. And they meet their friend Ruth Rose, and they head to the Book Nook. And when they get there, and they talk about how Wallace Wallace had written Dink Duncan a letter, and they really paid attention to his loopy letters and the way he signed his name. But in the letter, Wallace Wallace says he's super excited to come, and at the end he says, short of being kidnapped, nothing will stop me from coming. So that was kind of an interesting comment. So at the end of chapter 1, they are waiting and waiting. In chapter 2, they are waiting and waiting at the Book Nook for Wallace Wallace to come, and he's not showing up. It's getting later and later from the time he's supposed to be there, and everybody's wondering where Wallace Wallace is. And one thing they notice is Mr. Paskey, the bookstore owner, is really acting nervous. He's sweating and all these he's just acting kind of strange. And Dink is really getting upset. And by the end of the chapter, Dink remembers that last line of the book, or of the letter, that said, short of being kidnapped, I'll be there. And suddenly, Dink feels really bad, and he says it's his fault he was kidnapped. So he thinks he's kidnapped now. Well, then, into chapter 3, they are outside the Book Nook, and they're all upset because they think, oh my goodness, Wallace Wallace has been kidnapped. They meet a lady named, what was her name? Her name is Mavis Green, and she also had was writing back and forth with Wallace Wallace, and he also sent her a letter and said he was eager to meet her and they were going to have lunch together. So that happened, and she kind of comes along and is helping Josh and Ruth Rose and Dink try to figure out where is Wallace Wallace. They do find out from Mr. Paskey they have an itinerary for Wallace Wallace, and they see that he arrived at the airport. He was supposed to arrive at the airport. He was going to meet a taxi driver. He was going to the Shangri-La Hotel. He had the book signing. He was going to have lunch and then go back to the airport and go back home. So now they're trying to figure out where he is, and in chapter 4, they call the airport, and they do indeed find out that his plane did arrive, and this lady, her name was Maureen Higgins. She was the taxi driver, and she says, yep, I picked him up and I took him to the Shangri-La Hotel. And then, sorry, my nose is running a little bit today. In chapter 5, let's see what happened. Oh, they go to the hotel, the Shangri-La Hotel. And the man who's running the hotel, he's also acting a little strange. His name is Mr. Linkletter. And they discover from Mr. Linkletter finally that he did check into his room. He did check into the hotel. He was assigned to a room. And then lastly, really quick, in chapter 6, and I don't know if you guys remember that from yesterday, chapter 6, they find out from the lady who cleans the rooms that there were 2 rooms side by side that neither one was slept in. And one of those was supposed to be Wallace Wallace's room. And now they're wondering about this second room because they don't know who checked it out, but it was about the same time that his was checked out. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at, and then you'll find out more in chapter 7. So I'm hoping that helped a little bit with the recap. I do have this book, the read aloud, And one of the modules you can listen to, if you want to listen to it, you could even do it during silent reading today. You can listen up, but don't go past chapter 6, because chapter 7 you'll read tomorrow. But you can listen to it. It's in one of the modules. All right. Hope you guys have a great afternoon.